Lasciatemi cantare con la chitarra in mano. Lasciatemi cantare, sono un'italiana. Buongiorno Italia, gli spaghetti al dente.
This is a story about our trip to Pantelleria. 3 generations on an adventure to a tiny volcanic island equidistant between Tunisia and Sicily. Although Pantelleria is a part of Italy, it is not a well-known tourist destination and has a reputation for being difficult to reach. Yet it had an exotic allure of being this volcanic blip in the middle of a huge ocean. I had also seen and loved the film A Bigger Splash, whose location was shot entirely on Pantelleria. Because of its close proximity to Africa, the island's history is multicultural. Its original name, in Arabic, Bent El Ria, translates in English to Daughter of the Wind, for good reason. Seasonal gale force winds overtake the island, and this is evident in the island's flora, much of it like in a desert, crouching to the ground as if to prevent itself from being blown away. The flora on this island appear to be a mix of desert succulents and Mediterranean plants and flowers. Pantelleria was our last stop, and it was a good time to take a break from the beginning of a months-long journey within Italy to Cinque Terre, Rome, Genoa, and Naples, each city or village with its own perspective on Italian culture. Although we were warned extensively about traveling to Naples, the city, our hotel, the people were incomparably warm and generous. I felt immediately safe and at home in Naples. Our hotel and its staff never lacked charm and warmth, and we walked the streets and ate pizza at a few of the dozens of pizzerias claiming to be the original. Fireworks lit the night sky, and the entire city seemed to be on a daily celebration of life. Getting to Pantelleria was much easier than I had anticipated. We flew in from Naples without a hitch to a minuscule airport mostly empty of travelers. The 3 of us fell in love with Pantelleria immediately. Its uniqueness, the sense that you were the only one of a handful of visitors to experience this unusual place. You cannot come to Pantelleria expecting the usual t-shirt shops and paddle boats. Pantelleria itself is a 32-square-mile island of volcanic rock with one road that circumferences the island and many smaller roads that crisscross it in a haphazard fashion. Slow down so you can take photos. We've got No real map or guidebook prepares you for the isolation, and few people on the island speak English. Unless you are on a guided tour, you are left to your own devices to discover all the charms and beauty of the island they call the Black Pearl of the Mediterranean. We had rented an isolated damuso at the far end of the island, which is a typical one-level building, in our case a group of buildings. A damoso is built out of dry stone with thick walls. Some appear black due to the extensive use of volcanic rock with characteristics dome rooftop, painted white to ward off heat. Our damusi was a rather odd grouping of architecturally retrofitted but comfortable structures spaced apart by a walkway, a small bathing pool, and an outdoor dining area. Outside our living quarters, the island stretched uninhabited for miles. The entire island is scattered with these damusi, some like ours converted to house travelers. Cars were tiny, with impossibly tinier roadways. Road signs seem to be merely a suggestion, and there is but one petrol station, and that is in the town itself at the other end of the island. We rented a small, white, tinny car that served to take us to the various spots on the island, including a large mud and gravel lake inside the crater of the island's now inactive volcano, called Le Specchio di Venere, which translates to Mirror of Venus. On other ventures throughout the island's unmarked roadways, we mainly got lost. I recall the villagers looking on with slight bemusement as we circled a tiny village about half a dozen times in search of the way out. The primary crop of Pantelleria was capers, big juicy ones. Unlike the tiny jar creatures one finds on the shelves of a typical supermarket, these capers were large marble ones served up in various local dishes of the area. The food is simple but delicious. Cheeses, sweet and dry wine that is local, and plenty of fresh fish and fruit. It was impossible to fathom this little island and its roadways without local help, but mostly we used extensive hiking paths, some leading to cliffs overlooking the sea. We had the sense that we were entirely alone in this vast expanse of universe in the middle of the Mediterranean. After having left Pantelleria, I had the sense that a traveler really needs to experience a place twice. The first time to discover that whatever you've read, seen, or heard from others is largely untrue, and the second time is needed to take what you have learned is true from the first visit to fully enjoy the treasure every unique location has to offer. For me, it would be once again with 2 other generations happily in the middle of the Mediterranean on a tiny volcanic island called Pantelleria.